Are mental toxins silently taking over your life? Do you constantly think negatively, criticize yourself, and interpret every situation with worst-case scenarios? This mental pollution is dragging you toward depression, anxiety, and chronic unhappiness. But this 48-hour detox program in this video can cleanse mental poisons and enable your transition to a positive thinking system. Hello, welcome to Mental Force Lab. Let's start with that alarming reality I just told you. Yes, mental toxins are real and they're managing our lives in ways most of us aren't aware of. The 48-hour program I'm going to share with you in this video isn't just a detox, it's literally a mental rebirth. After completing this program, your thought quality will change, your mood will elevate, your energy will increase, and your perspective on life will completely transform. But first, I want to tell you something very important. This program isn't easy, because it will require you to face your toxic thinking habits. Some moments might be uncomfortable, but the result is so powerful that you'll remember these 48 hours as a turning point in your life. Thousands of people have applied this program and said this: I feel like a heavy burden has been lifted from my mind. The mental noise I've carried for years has finally quieted. If you're ready to achieve the same peace, clarity, and mental freedom, let's begin. First, you need to understand what mental toxins are and how they take over your life, because you can't fight an enemy you can't see. Dr. Daniel Siegel's research from UCLA shows an average person produces 60,000 thoughts per day. 95% of these thoughts are repeats of previous day's thoughts, and 80% are negative or unnecessary thoughts. This means most of your mind is filled with old negative thoughts that don't benefit you. These thoughts accumulate in your brain like physical toxins and become poisonous over time. A client who came to me last month, Sarah, explained this situation very clearly. Coach, negative scenarios constantly run in my mind. I think, what if this happens? What if that happens? I constantly criticize myself. I analyze my past mistakes over and over. These thoughts won't leave my head and I'm exhausted. What Sarah experienced is very common. The stress brought by modern life, social media bombardment, constant comparison pressure accelerate mental toxin production. Dr. Sarah Lazar's research from Harvard Medical School shows toxic thoughts don't just change your mood, they also alter your brain's physical structure. The stress hormone cortisol shrinks the hippocampus and weakens the prefrontal cortex. But here's the hopeful news. The brain is a neuroplastic organ. This means just as toxic thought patterns were learned, positive thought patterns can also be learned, and this process can happen much faster than you think. Before starting the 48-hour detox program, you need to measure your current mental toxin level. This will show you your starting point and help you notice your progress. Ask yourself these questions and answer honestly. How often have you thought the following in the last week? I wish I had made a different choice. Past regret. What if I fail? Future anxiety. I'm not good enough. Self-devaluation. Everyone is better off than me. Comparison, toxin. This will never change. Hopelessness thought. Research from Stanford University shows these types of toxic thought patterns can reduce dopamine and serotonin levels by up to 40%. This makes you biologically unhappy. The first phase of detox is learning to notice toxic thoughts and stop them instantly. This process is called mindful awareness. The first technique is thought labeling. When a negative thought comes to your mind, immediately label it, "This is a toxic thought." Don't fight with the thought, just notice and label it. This technique strengthens the prefrontal cortex and controls the automatic reactions of the limbic system. The second technique is 5 to 4 3 2 1 grounding. When a toxic thought comes, immediately do this. See 5 things, hear 4 things, touch 3 things, smell 2 things, taste 1 thing. This technique brings you into the moment and pulls you out of the thought spiral. The third technique is breath anchor. The moment you notice a toxic thought, focus on your breathing. Breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, exhale for 6 seconds. This activates the parasympathetic nervous system and reduces stress hormones. In the first 12 hours, your goal isn't to be perfect. Just start noticing toxic thoughts. Every notice is a success. In the second phase, you start replacing toxic thoughts with positive alternatives. This process is called cognitive restructuring. The first technique is reality test. When a toxic thought comes, ask these questions. Is this thought absolutely true? Is there evidence supporting this? Can I look at this situation from a different angle? Most toxic thoughts don't reflect reality. They're just negative interpretations that have become habits. These questions filter the thought through logic. The second technique is positive alternative generation. For every toxic thought, generate at least 3 positive alternatives. For example, instead of "I'm a failure," you can say, "I'm someone who constantly learns and develops. Making mistakes is human. I have past successes." This technique strengthens the brain's positive thinking pathways. Repeatedly used pathways strengthen, unused pathways weaken. The third technique is self-compassion practice. When you attack yourself with toxic thoughts, think about how you would treat your best friend. Then treat yourself with the same compassion. Dr. Kristen Neff's research shows people who practice self-compassion have 23% reduced stress levels and 19% increased life satisfaction. In the third phase, you change your mental nutrition habits, because the mind is affected by what you feed it, just like the body. The first strategy is information diet. For 36 hours, cut out negative news, argumentative social media content, complaint-focused conversations. These are mental junk food. Instead, consume mental superfoods like inspiring books, educational podcasts, positive music, nature documentaries. University of Pennsylvania research shows people who cut negative news for 3 weeks have 25% reduced cortisol levels. The second strategy is positive social environment. During these 36 hours, spend time only with people who give you good energy. Stay away from toxic people. The energy around you directly affects your mental thoughts. Negative people trigger negative thoughts. Positive people support positive thoughts. The third strategy is gratitude bombardment. Every hour, write down at least 3 things you're grateful for. Gratitude forces your brain to focus on the positive and reduces toxin production. In the final phase, you stabilize your new positive thinking system. This process strengthens new neural pathways and ensures permanent change. The first technique is letter to the future. Write a letter to your current self as your post-detox version. This technique mentally reinforces your new identity. The second technique is success visualization. Imagine yourself cleansed of toxic thoughts in detail. How does this feel? How do you behave? How does your life change? Dr. Guanyo's research shows visualization exercises create the same changes in the brain as real experiences. The third technique is daily ritual creation. Determine your daily rituals that will maintain your positive mental state after detox. This could be morning affirmations, evening gratitude practice, weekly mental cleaning. When the 48-hour detox ends, the real work begins, because toxic thinking habits will try to return. That's why you need protective strategies. The first strategy is weekly mental cleaning. Do a 2-hour mini detox every week. This regular maintenance prevents mental toxins from accumulating again. The second strategy is early warning system. Identify early signs that toxic thoughts are returning, like insomnia, irritation, pessimistic comments. Intervene immediately when you notice these signals. The third strategy is positive environment design. Organize your living space, social environment, and media consumption to support positive thoughts. MIT research shows environmental factors can affect thought patterns by up to. This 48-hour detox program isn't just theoretical, it has strong scientific foundations. Dr. Rick Hanson's Buddha's Brain research shows 72 hours of intensive positive thinking practice can make permanent changes in the brain's neural networks. Dr. Barbara Fredrickson's study from the University of North Carolina shows people who do positive thinking detox have 12% increased vagal tone, which means better mood and stress resilience. Real-life results are also impressive. My client Mark, who applied this program, said, "After 48 hours, the noise in my head had stopped. The mental burden I'd carried for years seemed to have dissolved. Now I focus on solutions instead of problems." Helen said, "My inner voice that constantly criticized me has turned into a positive friend. When I look at myself in the mirror, I now see things I love." David said, "Work stress was exhausting me. After detox, same workplace, same projects, but completely different mental approach. I feel calm, focused, and creative." There are points you need to pay attention to get maximum benefit from this powerful detox program. The first point is patience. In the first 12 hours, toxic thoughts might increase. This is normal. The mind resists change. Don't give up. Live the process patiently. The second point is hydration. Mental detox requires physical energy. Drink plenty of water, sleep well, do light exercise. The third point is support. If possible, share this process with an understanding friend or family member. Social support increases the success of the process. The fourth point is recording. Note the changes you experience during the process. This both provides motivation and allows you to see progress. Common resistances you might encounter during this detox process and their solutions. This is too hard, I can't do it. Resistance. Solution, don't be perfectionist. Every small step is a success. My old thoughts are coming back. Resistance. Solution. This is normal. The brain tries to return to old ways, repeatedly direct toward positive alternatives. My environment drags me to negativity. Resistance. Solution. Draw your boundaries very clearly for 48 hours. Avoid toxic interactions. I'm not getting results. Resistance. Solution. Change sometimes starts subtly. Try to notice small improvements. What happens when the 48-hour detox ends? How will this be transformed into sustainable change? Create weekly routines. Every Monday, 1 hour mental cleaning. Every Wednesday, positive vision update. Every Friday, gratitude practice. Plan annual major detox. Do major 48-hour detox twice a year. This is general maintenance for your mental health. Organize your social environment sustainably. Draw clear boundaries with toxic relationships. Develop positive relationships. At the beginning of the video, I asked, are mental toxins taking over your life? Now I'm giving you the good news. You no longer have to be their prisoner. This 48-hour detox program doesn't just clean negative thoughts, it gives you mental freedom. It gives you the power to be the master of your own thoughts. But remember, this program isn't easy, because if real change were easy, everyone would change. This process requires determination, patience, and courage. Now I'm asking you my final question. What are you waiting for to start implementing this program? What excuse is holding you back? If you really want to have a clear, positive, strong mind, it's time to stop making excuses and take action. Don't forget to like this video, share it with friends who need mental detox, and definitely subscribe to Mental Force Lab because we share mental health, positive psychology, and personal transformation content daily. Write in the comments, will you try this 48-hour detox program? Which toxic thought pattern do you most want to get rid of? And remember, mental toxins may have silently taken over your life, but now you know you can silently cleanse them. Final reminder, the most powerful person is one who can control their thoughts. You can have this power too.